Welcome into the Boise State Esports channel. We are back once again for the Overwatch Collegiate Throwdown. Fish and Red Vortex joining you once again. A continuation from last Thursday's tournament to catch you up to speed. We had 4 teams in it. Michigan Tech, St. Clair, Boise State, and DeSale. Those teams in order faced off each other in the first round, and we are now on to the bronze medal and then the gold medal match. And unfortunately for me, Red Vortex, you're going to have to wait. He is joining us from DeSale, by the way. You have to wait for your squad in the gold medal match, as you see on their screen, as we're going to open things up with Boise State and Michigan Tech in the bronze medal match of the Overwatch Collegiate Throwdown.
That's quite right. I'm glad to be here once again. I had lots of fun last week. It's going to be great again. All those matches were wild to watch, and I'm just excited to be here again.
Yeah, so we'll let the 2 teams that unfortunately did not advance playoff in our unpictured bronze medal match, and then we will have coming up in about an hour and a half the DeSale versus St. Clair gold medal match. As far as I'm aware, the bans are going to stick from last week. We're not going to change them up over to the new ones. So it will be Diva, Sombra, Reaper, and Ana, and then Echo, the new champion, has been banned away as well. Sounded like it was a group consensus to keep the newest champion away from everybody, just until everyone actually figures out how to handle her. Because I have heard the PTR stories, Red Vortex, that she was a nightmare to deal with.
Oh, no, she definitely was. I haven't used her in game yet, but I did use her in the practice range, and she's like, oh, it's crazy. Her ult charge and everything. It's nuts. The amount of, I can't even imagine what people are thinking about doing with her with like combos and whatnot in battle. But yeah, they haven't really tweaked her at all, and she's just nuts right now.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait on Echo, and we'll be curious to see, because I know the current bans are a little bit different. I know with the bans, they finally agreed to keep competitive in Overwatch League the same, but just to make sure the tournament all stays the same, because we couldn't fit everything in last week, we'll stick with the same ban. So the Diva ban being taken away, that seemed to open up things for Zarya, and then the Ana ban, that really has sort of opened up the support pool. We've seen a lot of Zenyatta, we've seen a lot of Brigitte as well, so I'm going to be curious to see how teams want to try and replace that Ana, who's really become a staple in the meta.
Yeah, she definitely is. Like she is a sniper, so she is good to like get some small picks every once in a while. So it'll be interesting to see how she does it. Definitely.
Sounds like we are about to get going with our bronze medal match between Michigan Tech and Boise State here, as you can see. And I'm also curious how the Reaper pick being taken away is, because Reaper's the guy who's kind of going to melt through that Reinhardt and maybe a Winston. So I'll be curious to see how teams sort of handle that Reaper being gone if a team does opt for maybe a higher health tank pool, knowing that shotgun overlord is not on the field tonight.
No, yeah, definitely a deadly thing. Gets behind gets in your backline too. He's not fun to deal with as a player or watching, because he just completely sweeps.
See here as we do load in there. It looks like a first pick is going to go out onto Rayla. Unfortunately, Rayla didn't have a very good first round either, and that continues just being taken. The first one being taken down for Boise State. Looks like right now Broncos regrouping up here on the side, maybe just willing to wait until they get their Tracer back online, and that's an early pick. Oh, they're actually going to jump in right before Michigan Tech caps, but I don't know if that was the right idea. Caps are going to be the first one taken down. D'Angelo and Beanie Bump taking a lot of damage. We see Lick also dropping very low, but Boise State going to have to fall back, and I think the Broncos should have just waited. That seemed like a little bit of communication error between Boise State and maybe the rest of the team.
Yeah, but it is smart for them to be able to pull out as a team, because I know sometimes as my team we haven't been able to pull out on time when someone calls it, but it's important to do that because you don't let the other team feed off your ult charge by getting a pick or something like that. So it's good coordination there.
See there, some swaps coming out from Boise State. Seeing those swaps, maybe I misunderstood production. Sounds like we actually maybe have gone with the newer bands, because I do see the Sombra and the Reaper there. So we'll get the update on that after this game. But for now, Boise State's got to find a way onto this point at the 40% mark. The captains are leading the way there. Taking a little bit of damage. Brennerbear and Rayla also dropping very, very low. Boise State not quite able to find a good way in. And so all 3 members are going to go down there. And D'Angelo, Beanie Bump going to follow. So Boise State just cannot find the opening they need right now. Icy with the late stagger as well. That is not going to help. Point up to 60 67%, almost 70%. We do see the Moira has the Coalescence available. Nothing up for the side of Boise State. Gravitic Flux also almost online for Mr. God Game. There is the Coalescence right to start. And a double kill going to go onto the side of Boise State. Rayla dropping very, very low as well. No other ultimates going to be needed, committed by Michigan Tech. And Boise State right now not able to get out of their own spawn.
I know it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do that right now, but they also Michigan Tech has a lot of ults going off right now. All of them going off, actually. All of Michigan Tech's all absolute madness right now. But it doesn't seem like Michigan Tech, Boise State was able to get through. They just completely stopped them right at the first doorway, which is crazy to see. I know it's tough to handle as a player. It's a stressful situation always.
Yeah, I definitely think Michigan Tech realizing that they had so much percent on the point, they said, we can just throw every ult at you guys. We're not even going to let you get out of the spawn. So just to give a quick update on the bans, Echo's still banned away. We had that one right, but it's actually going to be Rhine, Widowmaker, Brig, and then my personal favorite is McCree being banned away. So no more bad Deadeyes tonight, but I think the Rhine ban is huge. He's been a staple in this meta, so I'll be curious to see how the tank meta sort of shifts around Rhine being gone.
No, yeah, Reinhardt is definitely one of those tanks that's always usually a lock in the high-level competitive, and in games I've played with in ECAC and whatnot, Reinhardt really is a staple in the meta. It'll be interesting to see how they go without him. It seems like they chose an Arista and a Stigma, which is always a good thing for double shield. But yeah, here we go.
Looks like the Winston and the Wrecking Ball on the other side there. More of a dive. Unfortunately, Boise State, different games, same result as 3 Broncos are going to go down to start. Icy will fall. So will Brenner Bear. So Michigan Tech has just been hot to start this match. I do not think they've lost a single fight yet.
No, it doesn't really seem like they have. They know what they want. They're getting in there. They're ready to win this fight. It seems. Boise State, they're coming in, but it just seems Michigan Tech is doing something that just keeps winning their fights. Maybe it's just an extra pick at the beginning, but whatever it is, it's working.
Well, luckily Boise State able to get a pick onto that turret. Now they're going to dive right in onto that backline, and unfortunately captains are going to go down. Immortality field, huge there for Sonamora, able to keep the members alive, does get taken down, but Brenner Bear will fall. Beanie Bump get a nice swoop off the edge onto Joking. Unfortunately, that is the only elimination Boise State's able to manage. Implication Matrix coming up huge, and the dive maybe not working out as Boise State is intended because they're kind of just diving right into their death.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're targeting very well. They're just driving right in. I get what they're trying to go for, which is important, but they need to change it up, maybe just a little something different. But we'll see what they're able to do here as they're getting ready for the next fight.
Or they do have the Molten Core online. We do see the minefields up as well. Nice chip, nice damage onto that turret, taking that out. Boise State won't have to deal with that. Now they're going to dive right in. Minefield's going to be Molten Core going to be dropped as well. Boise State trying to see if they can survive that one. They do a great job getting a pick onto Snowy. Transcendence has to come out from Boundary. Immortality field immediately eliminated by Rayla. Really good job on that. Gravitic Flux from Mr. Got Game. Doesn't look like it landed on anyone but Icy. The Valkyrie come out there from D'Angelo, trying to keep those health bars high for Boise State. The revive onto Icy, and Boise State finally pushing Michigan Tech back.
Yeah, and Boise State's also up in ults right now, so that's pretty good too. They have 2 ults that can win a fight with Sound Barrier and the Tactical Visor. Those are 2 really good ults that can change the tide of any battle.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see. Does look like Michigan Tech has swapped over to the Diva. They do have the Supercharger available. Maybe they can use that in this first fight here just to build up the rest of their ultimates. So I'll be curious to see if Boise State can hold on to it. There goes the Supercharger right to start that fight. Captain Star dropping incredibly low. Will get taken out. There comes the Tactical Visor, but it might be just a little bit late for Boise State as the Immortality Field gets out a ton of that damage. 4 members now have fallen for the Broncos. Good for them, though. Captain Star has respawned, so the spawn's staggered enough for Boise State to potentially get back onto this point. Pulse Bomb from Rayla going to come out, not going to land onto anyone. Icy surprisingly goes down and does not use his minefield. They put the damage on Michigan Tech, but as you can see, the members of Boise State starting to gonna get an elimination bump, forced to use.
Doing their best, it seems like.
Yeah, they have been able to trickle back onto the point enough to keep it going up into the near 90%. Unfortunately, finally Michigan Tech able to get a couple of key eliminations, and they're going to get it to 95%. Now Boise State has to rush back on into overtime. Unfortunately, 3 eliminations right onto Boise State. If you are joining us, this is the second part of the Overwatch Collegiate Throwdown. We had the first round last week. This is the bronze and gold medal game. This is the bronze medal game right now between Michigan Tech and Boise State, the best of 5, and Michigan Tech winning the first one. And yes, as chat can see, and I'm very excited, there is going to be no McCree Deadeyes. He's banned away. I'm so glad, but we also talked about it. Ryan, he's a staple. McCree, as much as I hate the Deadeyes, he has been a DPS staple. He has the ability to get that hit scan onto something like a Pharah. He just has a ton of burst tank damage as well if you fan the hammer into the stun. So he would be another one of those DPS where we've seen a Torbjorn and even a Tracer that might be a little harder to replace than people realize.
Yeah, even Reinhardt's Earth Shatter is a great thing that you can combo that with so many ults. So it will be interesting to see. It's always interesting to see how teams combat these hero bans. I know they're fairly new, but it's always interesting to see how they go against them, just making new comps, and it's always fun to see.
And I know you are a support player at Vortex for DeSale University, so we know last week your main was banned away in Ana. What about Brigitte? How does she sort of fit into the support meta? Does she have a role, or is she going to be one of those supports where you're just kind of like, she's banned, no one's going to notice?
She is important, but I feel like she is more on that side where no one's really going to notice. She works more with like a brawly dive comp, but I haven't really been seeing much of that in these games. It'll make too much of a difference in the long run for these games, but she's still a great hero to use in the game. So, but yeah, I really feel like she won't be noticed that much.
Yeah, she's kind of felt like that support where you play her when Ana's banned away or something that is a main support is banned away. So I don't know if we'll see that one, but the Widowmaker is kind of interesting as well as we are waiting for, I think, Boise State to pick the second map. I know snipers can always be a pain for support mains, so you've got to be a little bit happy that Widowmaker's gone, even though you're not playing.
Oh no, definitely. There's nothing that I hate more than just walking out of a corner and getting instantaneously headshot from somewhere you don't even know, and it's so annoying. But yeah, definitely. I'm glad Widowmaker's gone.
Question, maybe right on top of that relax and unwind sign. If you have that on defense with all the shields, that can be huge. I know Pharah and Ashe have seen some play here as well. Any sort of comps you're expecting from either side here?
On attack, I feel like they should run some type of Lucio and maybe some type of dive comp. I feel like that's always good on a map like New Bonnie, just because there's a lot of space from the attacker spawn door to the first point. And in most higher level games, you don't really see the players taking advantage of that long walk from the spawn doors all the way to the point. So I feel like that's something that would be useful. And I can kind of see a ball over there in their spawn, so it's usually running some kind of a dive. I think I see a Winston as well.
Yeah, I'll be curious. I like this defense setup. I see the Bastion and I see the Torbjorn, so a lot of turrets coming out there, and it also looks like the Orisa's sick. There is the Wrecking Ball, as you mentioned, Red Vortex, already on the spawn there. Gonna maybe fill that sort of Sombra-esque role, even though she isn't banned away, of scouting out what they're... They do actually have a Sombra as well. Very interesting that they scouted with the Wrecking Ball and not the Sombra, so... Switches over to the D.Va. Everything else, though, going to stay. So Boise State going to have to do a very, very good job of protecting that Bastion. And I will say, not a big fan of that Bastion setup because there was a lot of ways to flank. So it looks like they are going to maybe readjust, maybe give a fake scouting tip to Michigan Tech. Kind of interesting there.
Yeah, it seemed like they weren't a fan of their own strat either, but maybe you were right. They were trying to make them out a little bit. Maybe perhaps they knew that they were going to scout them out. But yeah, it was a little bit of a weird setup there. But actually going down right away on the point here.
As we see, it looks like the D.Va mech going to be the first one taken down. Red Bear's turret's going to fall, but a triple kill for Boise State. Snowy dropping very low as well as actually the Bastion sitting on the point, talking about unconventional. Maybe get pulled off there, maybe just fell off, but a great job by Boise State. Now, I will say they did, it looks like, allow a tick during that readjust, so maybe a little bit slow on that, but other than that tick, that was a great job by Boise State to readjust and put themselves in a better position, at least with that Bastion.
No, yeah, definitely. They move just in time and swiftly and as a unit. And like I said before, it's always good to have that team coordination. Just because I always think of a game like Overwatch as like chess, so it's important to move all your pieces when you want them to.
A huge three-man anti-nade. Great job there from Kanamura. Going to land on the three members of Boise State. 4 Broncos going down. Icy dropping very low. Brenner Bear, the last one left alive. Not sure what a Torbjorn can do there. And that was just an on-a-play to start. Sneaking up on the Bastion, hitting a huge three-man anti, and that just really ripped apart all of Boise State's plans. I'm shocked, though, to see the Broncos look like they're going to stick with this Bastion comp that they have. Not really going to change much of it.
No, yeah, it's always interesting to see a Bastion on defense especially when the payload's moving, just because depending on how fast it moves, the setup will always be changing. So, but perhaps they can pull it off. It'll be interesting to see. But personally, it's not something I would do.
Now I'm gonna watch out for joking with this EMP and the Diva Bomb coming out. Diva Bomb goes off, no EMP, there's the EMP, maybe a bit late there, only landing on the 2 members. The Valkyrie came out, but it wasn't enough as the 2 EMP members will go down for Boise State. Brennerberg going to be back as well, taking very low, and Icy will fall. Unfortunately for Boise State, D'Angelo's Valkyrie, not enough as it fades. The only member to survive that. Good news though for Boise State, they do have 5 ultimates available if they want to use them, and they're going to need to stop this payload from pushing very, very quickly.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Yeah, having the ultimate advantage here, that is also really good because
He's putting it on a different player, maybe a bit more comfortable here. So we do see him in the back line. Supercharger going to go down. The hack just a bit late, joking now, trying to do what he can. Look at Nano to keep hitting him. And we do hear the tank form come out from Rayla as the immortality field has gone down from Beanie Bum, and triple kill going to come out for Boise State. Molten Core being used. Broncos hold. Only bad news, Red Vortex, is it took almost all of their ultimates just to win that one fight, and they have 3.5 minutes left of defense.
No, yeah, they did have to use all their ults, and but I'm still surprised that they're sticking with the comp that they're running, considering that they won that fight. Yeah, but it did take a lot of ults, like you said. But I am surprised that they're still running. There's a Sombra sneaking behind there.
Sombra gets the hack on to Captain Star. The Gravitic Flux going to come out. Valkyrie just barely gets the sound barrier off. They had that combo with a lit bit of
EMP. So perhaps they'll try to combo with something else, maybe the Reaper ult.
We are having a little bit of a latency issue on the stream, so we are trying to make do with what we can. We are trying to fix that. Do not worry, chat. Hoping everything is fixed as soon as we can. But in the meantime, we are still able to see a little bit of what's going on there. The Diva Bomb did get that elimination. I was kind of curious. There's the EMP. It's going to land on the 3 members. Molten Core comes out. Death Blossom comes out as well. So is the Coalescence. That EMP is going to result in a triple elimination for Michigan Tech. 2 of the members, though, will go down in the process. As the payload, though, slowly but surely pushing, and right now no one on Boise State able to do much, and not even able to get out of their spawn. I'm not even sure they can contest this. Rayla on the Tracer has to get there, and now Boise State comes all out. Supercharger comes down from Captain Star, trying to build those all charges as much as possible. Icy gonna go down. Rayla the next one to fall. Unfortunately, Boise State in that stagger mode right now, and it is not working out for them. The only elimination they're gonna get is onto the Diva mech. And it looks like Michigan Tech doing a very good job of stopping that. Icy just barely able to get onto the point as Boise is in full stall mode right now. Snowy's going to drop the supercharger and just rack up those eliminations as we see Captain Star come flying in. He's not able to do much, and it does look like with just under a minute left, Michigan Tech able to get all the way to the 3rd point.
Score 0-3.
So yeah, that was fun to watch there at the end. Boise State almost held that well, but Michigan Tech, they're determined today. It seems they're just pushing right through everything Boise State's throwing at them, and it'll be interesting to see how Boise State combats this to try to win the point here on New Body and tie it up and go for a overtime on New Body.